When it's time for you to buy a boat, you've got two choices of where to go, either a big, huge conglomerate or a small town boutique builder. Each one has its advantages, but I'm here to talk about the advantages of going to that small town builder. Today, I am in Milton, New Hampshire, a town of 5,000 people and the home of Eastern Boat Works. This is where they build Eastern boats, Rossboro, and Seaway. And I want to talk about the advantages of going with a company just like this and why it makes a difference. For Ocean Life Network, I'm Captain Steve.
Thank you very much for coming up. It's been great talking to you over the phone and trying to work out which way we're going. So I really appreciate you coming up, and let's talk about some of the final details of setting up your boat. What are the things you would like most on the boat?
Well, myself, I'm looking for a cruiser type, a little bit of fishing, staying overnight, off an island somewhere or something like that in the sound.
Very
My wife
good.
likes to have little cocktail parties or whatever, so I'll let her
Not
tell
me.
you. I'll let her tell you about that.
Yeah, I want a little entertaining here.
Very
If
good.
I have to sit there and watch the fishing all day, I want to go back and have some fun.
Perfect. Well, we
Yeah.
say the 248s, sleep 2, dine 4, and cocktail 6, so it could be a really good combination boat for you.
This is the build shop. This is where everything gets assembled, and it's a place run by 5 guys, not 25, not 45, 5. So that means you get a personal touch on your boat, and it comes out the way you want it to be. And everybody's watching everybody else, and they're all talking to each other.
So this is the 248. This is going to be a combination between an Islander and an Explorer, a little bit of fixed seating, a transom door, area to go fishing, sunshade for when you're cocktailing. And now you can see the blues, the bottom paint colors, the cove stripe colors. Come on over. Little accents that we can add, like the pencil rails and the teak trim and the undergunnel lights. So, we'll really finish off the boat the way you'd like it.
That's Keith and John. They're two of the builders. Keith's master builder. He's been around for quite some time. I always tease him. I always introduce him as the guy that built Noah's Ark. Right there. And John is his apprentice, who is becoming a boat builder himself. And as you can see, a lot of the stuff we do, it's all hand done. What this is a flat panel. We're gonna build this kind of part because we're semi-custom. We need pieces like this in order to cut and paste and build for the customer's specific needs. Like the customer might want a different layup at the helm or on the mate side or their galley or a rear bench seat, or maybe they want a center companionway as opposed to our molded port side entry on one of our boats. And these kinds of flat panels or these kinds of pieces allow us to give them that semi-custom, because we'll specifically measure, cut and paste, if you will, to that customer's direction or vision. And a flat panel like this will help us do that.
It all starts with this.
It all starts here with this. Yeah, a lot of our semi-custom will start with these kinds of parts, as opposed to our molded pieces too. So one of the things that we're doing is our 24 hardtop. That is very much a utilitarian style boat that people want a little bit flashier these days. So we built this liner. We're making it a liner boat, which is going to make our build process that much easier for our builders. Instead of laying up a flat panel and stick building the floor like we did on this model or on that model, we'll now have a liner that we can build in the glass shop, bring over here, drop in the boat. It's done. So, we're trying to stay to our utilitarian aspects of who we've always been, but we're trying to incorporate ways to build the boats a little bit easier and faster.
And it's interesting to me that you're doing this on the fly. You can just make these decisions and implement that. It doesn't have to go through a committee. It doesn't have to go through the board of directors.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to go through a whole funding process and how it's going to happen and where it's going to come from. You just do it.
Yeah, and a lot of the times when we're doing it, it's conversations in the morning while you're having a coffee with your builder and your VP, Jason Stern. He's, has the experience of doing this and the do's and don'ts that have come along with those years. We'll go into that conversation and then we just get it done internally and we do it ourselves. We actually redid our stringers so that it could fit the liner perfectly. We rebuilt the stringers, leveled them out, cut some off here, added some there, made it a nice level stringer grid so that it could drop in, and then our liner will drop in nice and level and be perfect for the next build.
And this is the liner right here.
That's the liner right there. That'll be the future of this boat. It's not things that are gonna change the customer's perspective. It's changing our ability to build the boat and keep it so that we can spend more time on the semi-customization of the stuff the customer wants. Now let's go to the Eastern and Sisu build shop. So this, just so you can see what we're doing, we're making a brand new mold out of our most popular boat. Will has been building boats for Eastern for a long time, and he redid this whole plug and just laid down the non-skid last week, and this is gonna be our new, we're gonna make a new mold off of this. Then we'll save this for any future needs.
Okay.
But spare no expense, do it right, make it big and thick and sturdy. And
Tell me about this.
that's our Nitacore. Our Nitacore is comes in sheets that gives us the stability or the strength. What it allows is when you laminate a part and you use Nitacore, it allows for the fiberglass chop strands to go over the top and the resin to seep through into all these nooks and crannies and really harden and make it structurally sound. Want to go through Upholstery Shop?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's the one.
So this is some of our materials, some of our samples that we have that would go well with that boat. We got a Captain Navy Fancy right here. We got a wide stripe, and then we got a thin stripe down here too.
Now the important thing to notice here is that we're not in a shop with 20 people all at sewing machines doing different parts, different components all at the same time. It's one guy. This is his shop. It's a small company.
So what we have is we have our face, we have our boxing, and we have our piping. So at that point, we give the customer some options of changing this up. You know, obviously this here goes well with this here, the boxing part. Do you know what color boot stripe you might be doing on the boat?
That would be her.
The boss. Red. So the reason why I asked that is that you could go with the red piping on here, and then that would help
Take it
to
out.
bring that
Yeah.
right into the colors of the boats also.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
This is pretty.
Yeah, it's nice. Pat and Steve came up with this design for the upholstery, this layup, and that is the standard upholstery on all of our center console 20s.
Color match?
Yeah, color match to the hull, separated like that with the little inserts. That stripe will run right up through the bow. It's pretty cool. This is our rig or completion shop. This is where we'll do our inspection and our complete rig and get the boat ready to go to the customer. So it's last stop.
The last stop shop.
Yep, you got it. There you go. You know, we'll go through every boat as it comes down from the build process, identify any imperfections, try to correct those, and get it to that perfect boat for the customer to take home with.
What about sea trialing,
Yeah, sure. So
wet testing?
Yeah, well, every boat gets sea trialed and wet tested, sometimes with the customer, sometimes without, depending on where they live and their availability.
Clearly we can see that there's a big difference between buying from a corporate conglomerate versus a small town boat builder. You're not buying the corporate jet, you're not feeding the board of directors, you're not padding that huge bottom line. You're buying from a company that's feeding families, a community, taking care of each other. It all goes directly to these people that you see working here. And when you're buying from this company, you're dealing with these people that you just saw, and they all know each other, they're all family. And that's a big difference, and it also makes a difference with the bottom line. Your boat is much more cost effective. And that's my full look at Eastern Boat Works. For Ocean Life Network, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.